Pregame show to get you in the know. We are currently being joined by Mr. Harkness here. About to throw him on camera. But yeah, so kind of throw you into the mix here. Just started. Patrick, what's up?
Going on, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I didn't see you chewing, but we'll get this rolling here.
All right.
So yeah, pregame show to get you in the know. Ethan with the know, Patrick with the know. Patrick is football guy through and through. If you check out some of his preview articles for the Tulane Green Wave, you'll definitely see that he knows a little something about a little something. So excited to have him on here. We also may be joined by the gaming grunt. You may know him as a streamer, but he's also a big Saints fan. He's going to come and talk Saints with us for a little while. I'm going to kind of kick it off with a little bit of a controversial subject here, but I don't know if you saw that Spencer Rattler is inactive as the emergency quarterback. So I'm sure Saints fans are very excited about that because everybody expected him to start this year, obviously replace the $150 million Derek Carr quarterback. Not really, but based on how preseason went, folks definitely were excited to see what Rattler could do. And, kind of interesting to see that they're marking him as inactive early on in the season as an emergency quarterback. But it was briefly spoken about that a lot of folks would probably think that in a pinch situation, Hayner would come in, and then when you have time to game plan, Rattler would probably be your starter. But what do you think about that so far, Patrick?
I do. I haven't been able to watch a whole lot of preseason and practice of the Saints, but I did like a lot of stuff. I did see like the highlights and stuff of Rattler. Um, I mean, do you think Derek Carr is the answer there? I mean, Rattler is a little more exciting. I mean, everyone loves a new face to the mix. I feel like, especially at the quarterback positions, especially if you see success, in the preseason. But yeah, so he's on the inactive, as you said. And he's like the emergency quarterback.
Yeah, he's the emergency third quarterback,
Okay.
inactive technically today. A couple other Saints who are inactive, but for the most part, he's the main one that I think folks will be, the most disappointed in, just because nobody wants to see Derek Carr go down, right? Nobody wants an injury to happen, but in the event that it does happen, we pretty much know for week one against the Panthers that it'll be Jake Hayner coming out of the gate, and unless he gets hurt as well, then Rattler will be standing on the sideline, pretty much with the red shirt freshman jersey on, for lack of a better term, But yeah, like you said, is Carr the answer? Nobody really knows. One of my favorite things from last season, and I can't even remember who said it. I just remember seeing it on something, that ultimately the only thing you have to give Saints fans is hope, right? Like, we don't even ask for wins very often. There was a lot of bad seasons. Saints fans just operate on hope, and it just feels like, Derek Carr is our starting quarterback right now. There's no way around that. He's going to be the starting quarterback for this season and probably next season, and beyond. Who knows where that's going to go? But I don't feel he inspires a whole lot of hope, which is something Saints fans hang on to. We hope we can make it to the playoffs. We hope we can do this. But if Derek Carr can start the season the way he ended last season, we'll be fine. I mean, the NFC South is still not very strong. Kirk Cousins is, coming down from Minnesota. You still have Bryce Young in Carolina. I just it's not a bad situation to be in to kind of bridge the gap between now and maybe when Rattler is the guy. But yeah, it's relatively unfortunate to see your rookie quarterback, who everybody was excited for, pretty much get the like I said, redshirt freshman treatment. Like, you're just going to be there as a break glass in case of emergency. But other Saints out, we have Kalen Saunders out, DeMarco Jackson, Dallin Hooker, Jalen Ford. And then just recently they said that A.T. Perry is also going to be inactive. So that, takes a receiver out of the already questionable receiver room.
I
We
really
had
like A.T. Perry. Sorry, I didn't
yeah.
mean to interrupt you there.
No, you're good.
He's a massive, big wide receiver. I mean, I love to get in the NFL draft when that time comes around. But I remember scouting him So I'm a Bengals fan. I was kind of scouting him for the Bengals. I did like my own little thing with that.
Right.
Well, I just remember him being a big body receiver, going up and getting balls. I think he came out of Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of that guy, and I can't wait to see what he does with the Saints uniform.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because he's kind of in the same situation as the other guy, Kendre Miller, who's also out. Where it's like it seems like every time there's a chance for him to do something, he's inactive, and this would be the year because you have Olave, you have Shaheed, who are both excellent wide receivers, but they're not exactly like you said that big body type player that can go up there and contest a corner end zone throw or a quick hitch route or something like that. So it's kind of unfortunate that he's out week one. You can kind of see what he can offer, but on the other side of the ball, we have the Panthers. Ian Thomas is out, and then Tommy Tremblay, depending on how you look at it, there is also out. Two tight ends, but they're still going to be all right. I'm not sure if they've had any late additions to the inactive list, but other than that, it's our injury list always feels bigger than most other teams' injury lists. As the Saints, it's something that some people will say strategy. Some people will blame the team doctors because that's easy to do, and we've had some questionable team doctors for quite some time. But other than that, man, we'll kind of hop into the NFL slate if there's nothing else Saints wise that is on your mind that you want to throw out there real quick. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Washington Commanders. And then the Atlanta Falcons are going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It feels like without the Saints going up against the Panthers, it was going to be a relatively 1-0 season for some of these teams. I see the Buccaneers probably beating the Commanders and the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the addition of um, the new quarterback over there, drawing a blank here. But yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers with Justin Fields, I think the Falcons should beat them as well. A little more experience with Kirk Cousins. But other than that, I'll digress to you because I know you said that you're a Bengals fan and we're talking NFL slate. How do you think they're going to face off against the New England Patriots over there?
Oh, Chase! I don't know what Chase is going to do. I mean, he's trying to get that bag of money. Uh, it's he's like I just watched ES. I'm watching ESPN right now, and I think Schefter reported he's going to be like a game time decision. He says he's going to play. Depends on how much he's going to play. I guess yeah. It just now came across they failed to reach a deal. He said he'll play the whole entire season without a contract. So I'm not quite sure what exactly is going to happen with that. But I mean, they got Andre Yosivas, a receiver who came in from Princeton we drafted last year. You got Charlie Jones, a receiver from Purdue they drafted last year. And then they just drafted Jermaine Burton, a wide receiver from Alabama in the third round. And then they got Trent Irwin as like a clutch third down. Kind of reminds me of Bryce Bohannon at that Tulane offense. It's like a third down clutch guy, can get open and get some yards. But yeah, Chase, see what happens with that. It makes me a little nervous. Higgins is hurt, and he's on a franchise tag right now. And then, but I'm kind of hoping maybe next year you franchise tag him again, and then right before the NFL draft, you just trade T. Higgins because you can't afford to pay Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, hundreds of millions of dollars on one contract. It's just not feasible. It's not. You can't do it and try to pay a defense as well.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. I think. It kind of feels similar to the Saints situation with Alvin Kamara, where it's like, he says he'll play, he's out there, he's active. The Saints posted him on social media today about No Limit AK in reference to the No Limit Soldiers. And, he's pretty much shutting down conversations, and it feels like every team has one going on like this year. And it's a talent position. And I mean, these guys want to get paid. So I understand it, it's just unfortunate that some of your favorite players are held up by money, and it's like I said, these guys, they go out there and they put it on the line, right? Tomorrow could be their last game, and
Yep.
for some guys, you look at the Steelers, with I'm trying to think of his name too. I can't think of his name. The Steelers linebacker who.
They just got him from, is it Raekwon Smith?
No, sorry, I'm talking about the the one who he like had the career ending, Ryan Shazier. There we go. Yeah,
Oh,
I had to
Shazier,
Google it.
yeah.
Yeah,
How
talk
cool
about
is
like
that?
guys, you're holding out to play, and it's crazy that an injury like that can happen, and that's career ending and life altering.
Yeah.
And you're playing for a contract, so it makes sense why these guys hold out sometimes. But from the fan perspective, I almost feel like it would be nice to see the NFL find a way to make sure that these guys will be taken care of, so they're not so dead set on holding out for contracts because it affects the game. But looking around the rest of the NFL slate, I'll tell you that I don't really see like a whole lot of interesting action. It feels like outside of those first two games that we had this season that were Thursday and Friday night games, and then the full slate of the college games on Saturday. It feels
Yeah.
I just don't feel there's any games that jump out at me on the schedule. Probably the most interesting one would just be the Inter Florida matchup down there, and
Well, you see, Love
Dolphins and
got lucky. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Love got lucky with his injury. You see
yeah,
that?
MCL instead of or MCL sprain instead of an ACL tear.
Yeah.
Definitely,
And then I see
definitely.
this. Yeah, the Steelers are starting Justin Fields, which
Yeah,
is interesting.
yeah. That's why I was saying. I think I don't. I foresee most of the NFC South going 1-0 this week one, just because
Yeah.
you have Justin Fields. Just there's a reason that he wound up in Tampa, or not Tampa, Pittsburgh after just a couple of years with the team that drafted him, and so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But kind of jumping into bets, we'll kind of just do an overall bet that you like. You could go with the Bengals, since that's your team, if you want to go with one of those. But
I know nothing about betting. I've never
okay,
bet a day in my life. The only time I have was when I went to Harrah's one time, and I only been one time, and I played 14, and on the fifth roll I got it, and then never won again. So
yeah,
I have
well,
no idea how the whole betting thing goes, but if you want to help me out, I could maybe try to guess on some stuff here.
yeah. So one that I normally try and do, at least on the show, is just anytime touchdown score. So that means like at any point today, a player that you think is going to score a touchdown. And then from there, they have odds. So depending on how uncommon that player might be to score a touchdown, like for instance, for the Saints, they have Bub Means, who was, drafted this year.
Yeah.
He's probably third or fourth on the depth chart without A.T. Perry. So it's just a matter of, it's relatively unlikely that he's going to get a touchdown. But
Yeah.
even guys like Mike Evans, for the Buccaneers, who's their wide receiver one, he's plus 135, so he's got pretty good odds.
All right.
Um,
I think I got one. I think Andre Yosivach for the
okay,
Bengals because you
okay,
don't know what Chase is going to do.
yep,
Higgins is out, and then that makes Yosivach and then Trent Irwin and Charlie Jones. You're 1, 2, 3 right there. So I mean, I think Yosivach is. I'm going to go a little ballsy on this and say he's going to get 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Okay, that'll be interesting because 2 touchdown scorers are your odds are even better, right? So I don't know how to spell that guy's name in order to look up.
Yoilei. Yeah, that's all I got right now. But it's like YOI. I should know this, but I just call him Yoshi.
That's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't even see him. This is only like a certain amount down that it takes. But I don't even see him on the odds checker for a single touchdown.
Really?
So that'll be interesting to see his odds, or if he's even available. Because sometimes there's instances where like guys may not even be like on the betting because the books ultimately set the bar.
Okay.
As far as like what the odds are going to give,
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see if he even has a 2 touchdown score or prop. But I think for the Saints, I really like both of the running backs to get a touchdown because you have both the AK for a contract and Jamal Williams trying to prove a point. As far as like I was not used correctly last year, put me in the end zone. But we'll throw in Grunt real quick. We'll see a little bit about what he thinks if he wants to talk betting. He's at the game, so it might be loud. We'll see how this goes. Oh man,
Yo,
game
can
day
you hear me?
speeding. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, Ethan.
What's going on, man? What's going on? How's the game? How's the vibes?
Peter, look, we got Grunt here. We got Steph Williams here. We on the ground, baby. Look, we got the boys warming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fucking zoom in. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, it's gonna be really interesting. I think I'm looking forward to seeing who lines up against Xavier Legette. I'm liking Paulson Adebo or Alante Taylor is probably the go-to answer for that. But I'm also not opposed to seeing Lattimore line up against him, especially in the red zone. I don't take Deontay Johnson as serious as a lot of the word out there. Here comes the Carolina. Here comes the Carolina Kittens. Here comes the yeah. Yeah.
Oh, love
So
it. Love it.
I'm curious to see who's lining up because it's the first time we're seeing Adebo, Alante Taylor, and Lattimore all on the field at the same time ever. So I think our defense is going to be too much to worry about. It'll come down to what Trevor Penning does on that right side. But I'll pass it to Steph. What do you think the keys to the game are going to be? Keys to the game.
What's up, fellas? Keys to the game. Couple of things. Let's see how Trevor Penning does. We know he's 50-50. O-line's got to hold up if Derek Carr has any time. I want to see what AK does. I feel like it's been 5 million years since we've been able to see what AK can really do. Against the Panthers, he should be able to run wild. I want to look at that matchup. Also want to look at Shaheed against that deep threat. Big advantage for us. And quite honestly, team, it's a must freaking win. You got to win this because you got Dallas, you got KC. There ain't nothing easy coming up. We got to win here in the Dome, and hopefully the Who Dat Nation shows up.
Yep, absolutely. Love those. But yeah, while we got you, Grunt, before we do some sign off here, what's your pick of the game as far as bets? Anytime touchdown score, money line spread, what do you like?
So I like the over here. I think it lines currently at about 41 points. It was at 39, came up to about 41. I like the over here. I think my prediction is a little bit higher score than everybody else's, I guess, but I think it's going to be 27-24 Saints. Anytime touchdown score, I got Taysom Hill. I also got Chris Olave on the over on yards. What about you guys?
Yeah, I went with I said I like both the Saints running backs as far as touchdowns go because AK is trying to prove something. He wants a contract, and Jamal Williams just needs to prove that he's Jamal Williams still, But got a little huddle action. Love to see it. A little hype.
Yeah, bro. I was telling you, we got DeMario's in the middle there leading the huddle. Everybody's pumped up, motivated. Chase Young's motivated. Got Olave in the back, motivated, baby. We pumped up.
Sir, let's get it.
Yeah, I think I did a good game. I appreciate it, fellas. Thank y'all for having me. Let's get this W, baby. Who that, we that, believe that. Let's go.
Let's go, man. Who that? All right, man. All right, we're kind of signing off. We kind of did some keys to the game. I love it. That's normally how I end it. I'll give one on each side of the ball. Keys to the game is run the dang ball, man, because Derek Carr needs help. Trevor Penning is good in the run. He's just not great in pass. And there's one thing about defensive lines. When you get hit in the mouth over and over and over again, you're not trying to get to the quarterback that much. I mean, you've seen it in the Alabama program for years. You pound the rock, you hit those defensive linemen in the face, you push those linebackers backwards, they're going to get tired. They don't want to keep coming after the quarterback. And if you can do that and you control that part of the game, you have Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. Alvin will get on the outside. He'll get those tackle type runs. He'll run around guys. He'll make linebackers turn their hips and chase them. And then you have Jamal Williams who will just run over guys if he's the Jamal Williams that we recruited to come play for the Saints. If you control that, you can do whatever. You can use the deep threat of Shaheed. You can use the route running monster that Olave is. But if you don't do that, teams are just going to feast on Trevor Penning. They're going to make Trevor Penning the aggressor is really, I think, the key to the game for the offensive side of the ball. And then defensive side of the ball, make Bryce Young see ghost again because, when we first saw Bryce Young, he was lining up by the tackle. He was coming out of the huddle the wrong way. We had Bryce Young absolutely rattled. It was early in his career, so I get it. You're facing a very good Saints defense. The Saints defense has been good since Drew Brees retired. Unfortunately enough, but just make him see ghost again. That's a pretty simple one. You don't need to even control the line of scrimmage very much over there. Just make him see ghost again, and I think we'll be fine. So that's my two keys of the game. Again, I know you're a Bengals fan, so if you want to give some Bengals keys to the game, go for it.
They're playing the Patriots. I mean, we can't take the Patriots lightly. Bengals are home. It is a little worrisome without having Higgins or Chase. But I mean, Jacoby Brissett's back there at quarterback. I mean, I have a feeling we're just run the ball. I mean, we got Zach Moss, who we got over from the Colts, and then we got Chase Brown, who we drafted from Illinois. I mean, he could come in, catch some passes. Our offensive line, we got Trent Brown, who we brought over from the Patriots at right tackle. We drafted Marius Mims, but I believe he's out for this game. I mean, run the dang ball. I mean, I wish I could have told this to John Summerall at the 1st and goal 2-yard line, but I mean, I'm not a coach. He is. I mean, but yeah, I digress. But it's going to be fun to watch this game. I'm glad football's back. Mike Gesicki's there at tight end, so he could have a big game too. And it's going to be fun to watch these 3, 4, and 5 wide receivers go to work with Joe Burrow. So let's see what happens.
Yep, absolutely. Before we sign off here, I did happen to finally find him under 2 TDs. It's plus 2,500 odds. So that means if somebody wanted to throw a $5 bet on him and he did get the 2 touchdowns, then they would win $125 on top of their $5 back for a total of $130. So, yep. Let's go Saints. Who dat, man? Who dat, Trey? Yep. Other than that, this is the pregame show to get you in though. Make sure you stay tuned for the postgame show. We'll be on shortly after, hopefully a Saints W, and I'll even throw in the Bengals W just because I used to love Chad Ochocinco and had his jersey and everything like that back in the day. So we'll say go Bengals. They're not a problem right now. We'll see towards the end of the season I don't even know if we play the Bengals this year. I probably should know the rest of the season.
Hey, you might be playing the very last game in New Orleans.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, that would be a dream scenario for you, right? So,
right? Yeah, for everyone, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, like I said, it's pregame show to get you in the know. Stay tuned. We're going to be back post-game show. Different guests possibly. Patrick may hop back on. We'll see how that goes. Other than that, who dat? And let's get this W.